hustle. Every day, all day. This is how we roll. This is 97.9, the BOX.
Hi, Trey.
What's up, Keith?
How are you?
I'm good.
Good to see you.
It's good to see you too. You look cozy in the crib.
Oh, I'm cozy. I'm loving this. I'm loving sitting at home and doing interviews on a
Right.
couch.
Doing all the work from the crib and
Right.
going right back to your Netflix show after. Where I was at.
Listen, which you watching on Netflix right now?
I just finished Ratchet.
Ratchet? What is that? I've never seen that before.
It's a fictional story, but it's about like a insane asylum in California. I ain't gonna give you too much. I'm gonna just give you that. It's top 10 right now though. I finished the whole thing.
Is it?
You know, I've been on quarantine. I've been peeping everything.
How you feeling though? You good now or?
I feel great right now. Like it's been 2 weeks, so.
Oh, and you've been just sitting at home, locked in.
Yeah, sitting at home, nourishing the body.
Yeah, I saw you were making. What were you making on the stove that day? It was some sort of maybe tea or something like that for.
Yeah, I had tea and I had something. When I lost my smell, I had read that you could do smell training because that kind of freaked me out. But if you smell really really strong scents for like short periods of time in intervals, it'll help you bring your smell back. So it was onions, lemon peels, orange peels, elderberry, a little sea moss, and I would just breathe that in, and it would like break congestion up in my chest. And actually, after like 3 days of not being able to smell, it brought it back. And
Hey,
some people lose their smell for a long time. So I couldn't have that because I like to eat this. The smell is too important to eating.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can't smell it. I can't eat it.
You crazy. You crazy. Hey, but people sleep on an elderberry because that elderberry is really good for you to even take on a daily though. Like I tell people,
Oh, most definitely.
Elderberry, black, sea moss, and then black seed oil. And black seed oil is really, really good for you. But prior to that, like what kind of things that you take to really help your immune system?
Actually, I was taking elderberry. I was taking all that. But that goes to show you how easy it is to contract the virus if in fact you are close to somebody with symptoms. So that for me, with me being healthy, me working out as much as I do, and actually taking my vitamins and doing everything to prevent myself from catching COVID, I still caught it. So to me, that was just a signal of importance in how I should self-isolate and how I ain't had to go tell nobody, you know what I mean? But I wanted my fans to know that I was taking it this seriously. And if you do incur the symptoms, you should do the same because everybody don't react to it the same way. You know what I mean? It might be easy breezy. You might not have no symptoms and the person you infect could be severely ill. You know what I mean? So that was important to me to just lead with responsibility.
I saw where you had said your grandfather passed away. I'm sorry to hear that. My grandfather passed away from COVID, but you said it could have been that and you guys just didn't know.
Right, because it was so early. It was very early in the year. He got sick in January and he was in the hospital that whole time and he was on a ventilator. And it was all the things that came to be that we came to know would be symptoms of COVID. So that to me within itself was reason enough for me to take it so serious because just imagining that had we known, he could have been here longer, and God bless his soul. I don't think God make no mistakes. No. But at the same time, for me, like I said, I had to let people know, like I got this, and I'm staying at home. I'm taking it seriously because same time you got the president out waving at people. You got Secret Service in the church. You got everybody in the cabinet sick, and you got people actually believing that he's healed and better. You know what I mean? Like he's talking about he feels 20 years young. He's full of shit because I felt 20 years older.
Just saying anything, but I think that's so important that we vote. Like people don't understand, like when you look at things like that, you take that into consideration when you go into the polls. And I saw this video that really, really touched me, okay? It was Roland Martin driving, I know you saw it, driving by the polls, playing your song 2020 Riots, and he just had tears coming down his face, man. And he was just, filled with so much joy because just seeing people out to vote early, and then your song playing in the background, it just was like, oh my God.
No, it was amazing to me to see, because somebody like Roland who's so socially active and has been so for the duration of his life. So to see how that affected him and to have my song be the soundtrack for that emotion, and we as a people, we got to understand what our vote really mean. And when you see tears like that, that's that's him being proud of people actually voting, and that's him actually knowing what we've been through for us to be able to vote. So people that say, man, I'm not voting, what I'm gonna vote for? The hood the same and nothing gonna change. Like your mother's mother's mother may have died for this. You know what I mean? Someone in your bloodline died for this chance. And if they didn't die, they were brutalized. And if they spoke out, the dogs was sick, then the hose was brought out. You know what I mean? And this was something that really happened to people for us to have this opportunity. And if voting wasn't important, why would there be so much voter suppression?
Right.
If
Right.
our voice didn't matter, why would they not want us to do it so bad? So I think when you have a president that will blatantly lie to you and not care about the people he's affected, a president that will blatantly tell you he don't care about black people, he telling the good old boys to stand back and stand by and get ready. You know what I mean? Like these things, if you're okay with that, then yeah, sit at home. But you can't be okay with that.
Mm-hmm. I'm part of your evolution because we've seen you from the beginning. Gotta Make It album, and you were the young, charming, you know what I'm saying, young guy. Then you went through your wild phase, and now recently we've seen you be a voice and using your platform for the greater good, and just speaking out and being on the front lines out there protesting and exposing Karens and people not doing the right thing. What do you attribute your growth to and your evolution recently? Because I've been seeing a lot of this with you recently.
Uh, I think the time that it's always been within me, and I've always spoke out, on social platforms and things of that nature. But actually, the time to sit and just be with yourself, like while the world's on pause, and really think about what's important. Because when you're moving so fast, and you're an artist, and you're going state to state, you're going city to city, it's gig to gig, it's kind of a monotonous thing.
Mm-hmm.
You in a systematic flow, whereas though you just cool with you making money, you working, and you get to everything else when you can.
Mm-hmm.
It's really a fast-paced life that doesn't give you time to sit down and really become one with yourself in a lot of cases. So uh, in the break that I've taken, both from my last album and since this pandemic, and having my son, and having lost my grandfather, and my grandmother having got sick, my family's always been way more important to me than anything that I could do musically. Uh, but Trey Songz has always been more important than myself as a person, because that's what makes sure my family's straight. So a lot of times I would take a back seat to the business that is my career. Uh, I think with the pandemic and the world being on pause, uh, and when the world came back from being on pause, the first thing you see is more racism, more black people being murdered by the people that's supposed to watch and protect us. You see more people uh, giving reasons for this happen, and that ain't right. Like, so me knowing the power and the voice that I have, and understanding that, as a young artist, it's so many things that you risk and sacrifice if you go out and you speak out against this, that, and the other, and the endorsements, partnerships. And I'm at the point in my career where that don't even matter. You could take this check away from me, you could take this endorsement, this brand, but I'm so solidified in who I am as a person. If you don't want to rock with me because I'm saying black people matter more than anything else in the world to me, then I don't want to be in business with you anyway. And just looking at my son and looking at the people that depend on me and my family, who they see me as a man is far more important than anything I could do as a celebrity. So me being a celebrity and standing on what I believe in, and whether people rock with it or not is not really the thing. It's for my people, and I know that is true.
I think it's so important that even when the world open backs up, like we continue to do that, because I think right now we have a lot of time, like you said, and I just hope that we don't get so caught up once the world really open up, like I'm going back to this and being normal. Like, no, we still have to continue to fight.
No, and it's important for me to just stand on it, and me being somebody that when the world opens back up, I'm gonna still be moving in this fashion that I was before the world closed. That I be an example. And that's hard sometimes to do because in being an example, you are scrutinized and you are attacked more so. When you speaking out, when you speaking out on something that people don't want you to speak out, they're gonna bring so much your way that you got to be prepared for that.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to stand resilient within it. And my thought process is, man, what if Muhammad Ali actually went to war? What if he was like, yeah, I'll go? He wouldn't be the GOAT then. He'd have been a good boxer, but he wouldn't have been the GOAT. He wouldn't have been the people's champ. What if Malcolm was like, man, they gonna kill me about this shit. I should chill out. You know what I mean? Like that we needed those voices, and had they put themselves as more important than what they were saying, then we wouldn't have saw the change that we saw.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, sometimes you don't appreciate them people until like Malcolm and Martin, they were the two most hated men in America, in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they praised and even white people now. Yeah, you should be more like Martin, and you should be more like Martin. Fuck out of here. Your grandma, your mama, they won't like him, Martin. You know what I mean? To be loved and appreciated when you're gone is often to be hated while you're here.
Mm. Speaking of being hated while you're here, I saw you put something on social media about giving you your flowers, while you're here. You've been in this
Mhm.
game for a really long time, Trey. Do you feel like people give you your flowers like they
Like
should?
I do get my flowers, but I feel like anybody else, you know, this is the age, especially within our culture. Like you look at LeBron James, who's done everything right throughout his life. Uh, Outside of basketball. We ain't even talking about his greatness in basketball. Man, open up a school.
School.
Man has done so many things that we don't even know about. He's employed his whole hood. Like everybody he came
I
up with,
grew up with, yeah.
you know what I mean? Like the things that he's done, we don't even know the full extent of his greatness just as a man.
Mm-hmm.
And people still find a way to rip him apart. People still find a way not to uplift him. So what we got to realize is that we in a culture of clickbait, a culture of people doing things for attention, people saying things they really don't mean just for the notoriety that will come with it. A
Mm-hmm.
person was blatantly just people will make jokes out of serious situations until they realize the seriousness of it. And then it's all, oh
And
my
it's like,
God, God bless this, that, and the other. Like, so what you got to realize in moving in anything of prominence and anything of where all eyes are on you is that every reaction don't deserve a reaction, and every statement don't deserve a reaction. Because somebody will say something crazy about you now, and then the next hour they be back on you. You know what I'm saying?
praising you.
Yeah, everything's fair weather, so you can't take anything too seriously. You got to move within positivity, and if you give negativity attention, then the negativity is gonna come back to you as well. So you
Mm-hmm.
just got to move in positivity, and I'm learning that more and more every
Aren't you grateful that you came up in a time where when you first came out, it wasn't just like this social media,
day. Man,
that first album, because we got to really enjoy the music. I
yeah,
think we were so caught up. We love the art, but we got so caught up in the music that we didn't really care about all the other stuff. You know what I
the
mean?
music was more important than anything else. Like, and I feel that nowadays I saw it was actually Beyonce speaking about it, and the music is actually like second tier. Like, often even when you do interviews, it's more about your life and what you're doing than the actual music.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not really because people care what's going on in your life. It's because they know that that's going to get the attention, that's going to get the clicks, that's going to get the views. An interviewer will ask you the wildest question they could think of just because they're going to be the interviewer that asks you that, and that's going to bring attention to
They
them.
just want that
You know what I
quick
mean?
headline.
It's not as much about good journalism, good music. I think that the actual craft of whatever was more important than the gossip. Like you had a whole National Enquirer for that. You know what I'm saying? And that was where that lived at.
Yeah, yeah,
you
that's
know,
what it was. Yeah.
that's where that lived. Everything else was journalism, straightforward. Everything else was about music. It was about the craft. And understandably, as social networking explodes and it's never going anywhere, that the parallels of people's lives are just important as the product. And
Mhm.
just to anybody that's watching that aspires to be an artist or aspires to be in any kind of spotlight, even in doing your job, you
Mhm.
know what I mean? That's what's gonna come with it. But you have to learn to separate the two in order for your mental being, for your heart, for your psychological welfare. Because if you let the two just be the two together, your personal life and in your public life, then at some point it's going to dismantle. You got to have something for yourself. Don't give everything to the world, because the world don't love you as much as
Mm.
the people that's right here.
This is true. I do want to go back home though. The album is so good. I'm so happy because it was
Thank
that
you.
R&B that, and I always keep referring back to the first album because their first album was like literally my favorite, Trey. But
Right.
it's a great body of work. You got back with Troy Taylor on this one.
Right.
Let's talk about the journey in creating this album. What mindset were you in, Trey?
Uh, I wanted to make an R&B album. Like, and for me, I can dibble and dabble, have one foot over here and one foot over there. I've done it throughout my whole career. Like, uh, Say I and Can't Help But Wait, on the same album. You know what I mean? Bottoms Up and Can't Be Friends were on the same album. Uh, it's been an easy balance, uh, because that was more so my focus. I'm doing the show in the arena. I'm gonna have to do the after party in the club. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll have to make sure that I exist in both spaces in order to thrive and continue to be who I want to be. At this point in my career, much like I said earlier, I am who I am. Uh, I'm not chasing no chart success. I'm not chasing no sound. Uh, I'm not in competition with any other artists to be who I am. And I feel like as you excel to this point, you are in competition. What I mean? It is a Mario, it is a Chris, it is a Usher, it is a Neo. You know what I mean? And you do have to carve a lane for yourself. So you do have to be focused in that way on everything that I just mentioned: chart position, styles of sound, collaborations, etc., in branding yourself. Uh, but at this point in my career, knowing what I offer to the game and knowing what it is that I love to do the most and the music that I love the most, and looking at just the climate of the world and thinking what my fans need. My fans love my music to live their lives through, even when in the most normal of times. So in these tumultuous times where it's something that we never seen before, you need some love for your soul.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And music, I want the music to wrap its arms around you and you to live with inside of it. I think it's so much passive music. You know what I mean? I saw a post from it was I think it was my man from TDE. He was like, man, I want to hear. Hold up, I screenshot it.
Was it Punch who said it? Punch
I
always tweeting.
screenshot it. Hold up. Let me find it. I thought I screenshot it. Damn, it might be on my other phone. But it basically was saying, can we rap about something? I might have just saved it. Can we rap about something else in our music? He said, okay, here we go. It is Punch. You saw it. We need to talk about more things in our music. I can't keep listening to us describe different watch brands, how much a car costs. It's literally money, car, watch, girl, money, verse.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, and my album having just been released, I've been feeling that about music as well. Not just hip hop, but black music. It's like one sound right now. You know
It
what I
is,
mean?
especially with with hip hop. It has this one sound. That R&B also has this one sound right now. Everybody's literally in R&B has the sound that I'm talking about. I can't even
Yeah.
explain it. But there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
But
not to take nothing away from it,
yeah,
but
yeah.
the what our music has been there has been a lane in a pocket for
Mm-hmm.
everybody to shine and be in the forefront. I feel like what's in the forefront and what people in you got to be careful in the playlisting and the product. The PDs
Mm-hmm.
and how you program, because you literally curating what the culture is.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got a playlist of this one sound,
Yep.
and you telling young artists that this is how you got to sound in order to get to this hot playlist. Because if your music don't sound within this realm, then you're gonna be over here aside somewhere. Then you're gonna have young artists dimming their creativity to be that.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And I think just right now in this place that we in with so much toxicity, so much hate, so much people ripping other people apart, we got to put love back in the music, and we got to dedicate time to full projects. I think it's just so much fast food. Like, let me get this single off.
Or five song EP. Like I'm
Right.
so sick of these 5 song EPs and the song being 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Like I can't take in. I want
Right.
more. Like give me
And
more.
the funny thing about it, like when people saw my album was 22 songs, they're like, oh Lord, this nigga done put 22 songs on the album. And then after the album out, can we get a deluxe? Y'all know what the hell y'all want.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you think about like 22 songs, the album's an hour and 8 minutes. That's 15 songs in 1995.
And we don't get to live with music anymore though, because it's
Right.
so much, right? So we don't get to, everybody, it come out 10 minutes later, oh, this sucks. Oh, this is, man, you're like, dog, you ain't even live with the album yet. Like,
Right, you listen, you skim through. Do you fools listen to music or do you just skim through it?
right.
Like, you can't, I don't know, man. I saw a post, and I'm gonna tell people about this to the day I die. I saw a post, and it was 3 new albums. I don't remember the 4th album, but it was actually 4 new albums. All of them had came out within a 2.5, 3-week period. And the post up under it was, which one of these y'all still rocking with? I said, still rocking with? Damn, you ain't even listened to it. You ain't even got into it yet. You ain't took a trip. You ain't running on the highway with it.
Hey, listen, I ain't gonna front. I had to get on a freeway. I literally, to play your album and listen it through, I was riding around like listening to it. I think that's you. I just love just vibing to music and getting in the car and just driving.
That's crazy, Keith, because check it out. I'm at home with the COVID. It's all these people celebrating my music. My mama called me, they at the crib. My whole family having a listening party. I called my homeboys. They like, bro, we had a listening party. Producers, everybody having their own little listening parties, right? So I said, man, I'm getting in the car. So I got in the car, just me riding, listening, and I listened to the album about 2 times, just riding around. And I had heard the album, but I hadn't listened to it, like seeing it on Spotify, seeing it on iTunes, seeing it, like I'm listening to the mastered version in the files and the application, you know what I mean? So it was an experience for myself as well. So we was on the same way.
Yeah, I have to. And I always feel like those are like the best dates too. Like if I can't get in the car with you and play some R&B and you don't know the songs or like you're not vibing.
You're not feeling the vibe. You want to get in the car and
I cannot do that. Like, nah, you gotta get out, dog.
Like, in the bed. Hey dog. You gonna listen to that the whole time, dog? Hey dog.
Oh, I'm sick of these, Nepro. Okay, so look, I want to talk about your baby, your son. Did you give your son credits on the song?
Yeah, I ain't give him nothing, man. My son a genius. He came in there and he wrote all them songs, man. Don't take nothing away from my boy.
My bad.
Boy came up with them concepts, man. He said, man, we should write this one this way. And
he gave inspiration, you know?
Yeah, but just thinking about, everything we've been talking about and how us as a people, we don't know generational wealth. We don't know wealth being handed down. We don't know being 18 and walking into, okay, I have a period where I can relax because I don't have the pressures of this, that, and the other, and teaching financial responsibility because you had finances. And because I'm a musician, of course, I want to find other ways to do this as well. But the first way I could show everybody else that, I try to lead by example in a lot of ways, especially for Black fathers. I noticed that I'm going to be someone that people look to. Mm-hmm. And I saw a way that he could be taken care of, and I'm gonna make sure that that's a way that I could take care of him without even blinking. You know what I mean? And just making songs and adding his name and giving him percentages of what's mine for him to walk into. So that was very important to me, and I will be doing that for the rest of my life.
Generational wealth, honestly, us as people, we just don't set our families up because honestly, our parents didn't know how, or they didn't have the means to back then. You know what I mean?
We gotta teach each other financial literacy. We don't come up with the same thought process. So months ago when we were doing the Black Lives Matter, my little brother was registering to vote, and there was a white woman in there, and she told him good things, but the brother that was working there, he was actually just cleaning up. He ran outside after my brother. He said, "What'd she tell you? Because you know you can go over here and da da da." He's like, "No, no, no. She told me all that." He was like, "Okay, good." And he looked and he saw me. He said, "I know you." I said, "Yeah, my name's Trey." He said, "Trey Songz." He said, "Man, I'm proud of you, all that you doing." So, and then before he walked off, he said, "Man, my generation failed y'all." He said, "But y'all stepping up, you carrying on the torch." And I said, "Man, you ain't fell us. Like, I'm sure you had children to take care of. You had to survive. Like the generation before now and the generation before that, they had to focus on survival." So we have the leniency and we have the ability to learn and teach things that our parents could not focus on for sake of being tired and trying to get by and make sure that we got up for school and make sure that we understood that this life ain't really gonna be easy on us. You know what I mean? So when you think about your grandfathers and people deterring you from these wild, vivid dreams you may have had, it's not because they don't believe it can happen. It's because they had never seen it happen. You know what I mean? So financial literacy and teaching each other just self accountability and just having us understand the things that the other side come up knowing. You know?
Yeah, they tell me I gotta wrap up in like 1 minute, but I had a quick question. You seem to have a lot in your life with your family, your mom, your brothers, and your aunties and cousins. You guys are very close. Do you desire a family of your own, being married, and having more children?
Most definitely. I always have envisioned that for myself. One thing I do know though is that marriage is very serious. When I say I do, or the woman that I love says I do, I don't want to go back on that.
Right.
I don't. I want to. That's something that I see often. You know, people broadcasting relationships and faking the funk for what they think is a good look or what they think they're supposed to be doing at this point in their life. Oh, I'm at this age. I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be married. I'm supposed to have children. And I see women do this a lot more than men, of course. And you put yourself in a situation just because it looks the way that you thought your life would be at a certain time. You end up sacrificing years in a situation that you're not supposed to be in. I ain't never wanted to do that. I ain't never want to broadcast no woman in front of no cameras just because they like, "Oh, Trey, you been a player this long. Like, why don't you show us a girlfriend?" No, if I got a girlfriend, she at home, she chilling, and we developing our understanding of what this is before I bring her to the world for y'all to tear us apart because that's what's going on in the world right now.
Right. Okay. Well, Trey, thank you. I know I gotta wrap it up. I appreciate your time
I
today.
appreciate you.
So good to see you. So proud of your evolution and your growth, man. For real. I'm glad you're doing well after
Thanks,
COVID.
Keith. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I ain't got the COVID no more,
Man,
man. Don't even worry about it, man. Like,
you ain't got the COVID no more?
I ain't got the COVID no
You ain't got
more. Come on over, man. I'm in here by myself.
Wait, how you celebrating? No, how you gonna celebrate the album? And you know what I mean? Because you know everybody else celebrated without you.
Right. They gonna have to do it over. You hear me?
Do over.
First chance I get, man. After this week is done with promo, first chance I get, I'm gonna go pick my baby boy up, man. That's all I really want to do. Go see my grandma, go see my family, celebrate with them, actually be back home and enjoy, with the guys and just the gang. And from there we can keep pushing.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you. Houston loves you. Can't wait till the world opens back up. You can get on tour. We see
I love the H. Hey, one thing about it, I don't find a way to slide down there because I know y'all. I'll be masked up, and they say once you got it, you can't get it.
Don't put that out there, Trey. That sounds like Donald Trump. Don't put that out
there. Just stay masked up, man. They actually said that at first, but they don't know if that to be true because actually
don't know nothing because we find out new stuff every single day.
You can't get it twice, but you won't catch me with this motherfucker no more.
Okay. Well, go ahead. You gotta go. Bye.
Go ahead. Don't wave me off.
I wasn't trying to wave you off.
I'm just playing.
Oh, wait, look. The last time I saw you when you came to Houston, I showed you this old picture of us. I was super fat and you looked super bony, skinny. I think I did show you the picture.
You were at the station, I remember.
But I remember the first time, I have to say this, the first time I met you was in the Beverly Center and I was in college and I was like, oh my gosh, Trey Songz. And it was the first album and you were so young. I was so young too. And my favorite song is Fumble. My favorite song you ever made. Sing it for me. Should have let go of my past. Woo!
I was listening to Fumble yesterday, actually.
Me and LaRon was talking about that earlier. I love that.
LaRon, he got B-sides and all type of stuff in his phone. He holding out.
I need to hear some of that, LaRon.
All right, baby.
Okay, bye. See you later.